longer. Sheriff Jack Campbell says that would create even more problems for jail inmates and staff. Governor Pritzker's office says the state has been working to add more psychiatric beds, but with mental health referrals at an all-time high, everyone has to work together to find solutions to the problem. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
How would you like to work for the area's premier multimedia marketing and advertising company right here in Springfield? Well, here's your opportunity. At Midwest Family, we're looking for talented and dynamic account executives who thrive in a fast-paced working environment. Those who are passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive. Are you a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have a grasp on today's digital media? And do you have the ability to cultivate lasting relationships and partnerships? If this sounds like this is for you, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on our Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, we offer unique sales career opportunities where you're given a challenging mission, world-class tools like HubSpot CRM, ongoing training, and the chance to realize your full potential as a marketing and advertising sales professional. This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager at Midwest Family Springfield. Are you my next candidate? If so, please apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
When winter weather presents traveling challenges, SMTD is a convenient commuting alternative. The reliable SMTD fleet is warmed up and ready to go. No more early morning shoveling or scraping. You're just steps away from a stop. Check smtd.org for routes and schedules, then board an affordable, clean, climate-controlled SMTD bus. It'll take you to work, school, doctor's appointments, and beyond. Avoid driving and parking hassles and arrive on schedule with less stress. SMTD, your convenient commuting alternative. SMTD, moving together.
If you're in need of care, that's all you should be concerned about, not the hassles of out-of-pocket cost or whether your doctor is in network. We've heard you. Springfield Clinic Advantage, an employer health plan designed locally with a real understanding of the healthcare needs of the patients in our community. A plan that guarantees you'll never be out of network with your Springfield Clinic doctors again. Your doctors, your health plan, your advantage. Visit springfieldclinic.com/advantage.
92.7 WMAY.
Springfield's news and talk.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 46. Cloudy tonight with a low of 35. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 46. Low around 37. Wednesday, partly sunny with a high near 52. Rain arriving Wednesday night and a low of 34. Thursday, rain likely with a high near 40. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 35, and Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 38. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
This is the Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week, sponsored by Barcom Security.
Hi, I'm Officer Drew Zabados, Crime Stoppers Coordinator for Sangamon and Menard Counties. Trivia is finally back. Crime Stoppers Annual Trivia Night is being held on Saturday, February 4th, 2023 at the BOS Center. Doors open at 5 p.m. with trivia starting at 7 p.m. Come join us for trivia, 50-50 raffle, wall of wine, 10 for 10 raffle, and much more. Cash prizes are given to the top 3 teams, including $500 for first place. You can have a team up to 10 people, with the cost being $15 per person. To register, go to our website, cashfortips.us, or visit our Facebook page. Gather up your team and come support Crime Stoppers in our efforts to take criminals off your streets. If you have any information regarding any crime, call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 217-788-8427. Submit a tip on our website or use the P3 app. If your tip results in an arrest, you could receive a cash reward up to $2,500. Remember, Crime Stoppers only want your information, not your name.
Catch a criminal, get a reward. Crime Stoppers of Sangamon and Menard County. Sponsored by the Springfield office of Barcom Security. BarcomSecurity.com. Have a secure day.
Unpunished crime. Do you wonder sometimes if you're next on a criminal's target list? It's hard to know the real answer, but it's easy to make sure that you and your family are more secure. Barcom Security protects by minimizing response times. When trouble strikes, you're backed up with a live person who takes your call 24 hours a day. Contact the Springfield office of Barcom Security for a free estimate and have a secure day.
Well, we're not quite done just yet. Brian Lauer here, and I hope you all had a great Christmas. I know I did. It was the last retail Christmas season for me. See, I've been in retail since I was in 8th grade. But don't say goodbye just yet. We still have inventory to sell. So, we may be open another couple of weeks or till it's gone. Bring your Christmas cash and save big. Hours are 11 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday, in the beautiful Montvale Junction Shopping Center on West Isles.
92.7 WMAY.
Springfield's news and talk.
Well, happy Monday morning. Good morning, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk, and what a weekend it was for the Illinois legislature. It's really going to be a lot of our focus today because, well, it's your money, and it's lawmakers looking to pass laws that will impact your daily lives. A lot of you out there interested in what's going on with gun control, and as of right now, looks like there's going to be a hearing on a House bill the Senate's looking to amend, different from what the House bill passed of an amendment to a Senate bill last week when it comes to restricting the possession of certain types of semi-automatic guns and magazines. Now, this thing has gone over several iterations over the past few weeks here, from the original bill that was filed by State Representative Bob Morgan last night, midday afternoon sometime. The Senate, they were in session, but there was a amendment filed to a Senate bill, a House bill. Easy to get confused around this time of the year with the lame duck session getting ready to transition into the new General Assembly. But boy, it has not been a lame duck session, that's for sure. So we're going to tackle that and what the latest in that gun control package is from the Senate. They're set to hear their version this morning at 9 o'clock. So after we get off the air, they're going to have a hearing just to talk about this and a few other things. And then it's going to be a busy day today. You got inauguration. So that's also happening. And then the Senate's going to go back into session after inauguration, and then you could see some action on a possible gun bill there. But the Senate proposal did not advance last night. The amendment filed, it defines assault weapons and it caps magazines to no more than 10 rounds for rifles and no more than 15 rounds for handguns. It's possible the measure could be heard this morning in a Senate Executive Committee, with the Senate reconvening in the afternoon hours today. But as I said, also you got inauguration. Governor J.B. Pritzker set to take a second oath of office for inauguration at the BOS Center. That starts at 11:30. You'll have live coverage here on WMAY. We'll definitely be talking about it tomorrow as well. But Pritzker's going to be sworn in for a second term. And then you've got others that are going in for another term. Comptroller Shoshana Mendoza, Treasurer Michael Frericks, Attorney General Kwame Raoul. But Alexi Giannoulias is going to be inaugurated as the Secretary of State, replacing Jesse White. So that's something that's going to be happening today. But all throughout the show, we're going to be unpacking a lot of what happened over the weekend because it was a long weekend, especially for us in the news business, especially as Friday night, the House, they picked up a bill to spend $1.7 billion of your tax money, but it also does a variety of other things, like changes the issue of child support and how that child support could possibly, the state sometimes could take it up and actually, change things to take money from the child support payment, kind of like a little fee of sorts. But you got the House that passed this measure. The Senate passed it last night. It doesn't just spend money for the rainy day fund. Doesn't just spend money for the disaster recovery fund or a special, what some are characterizing as a slush fund for the governor to attract big business to Illinois. Altogether, $1.7 billion. It also gives, as House Majority Leader Greg Harris said, some money for pay raises.
There are salary increases for agency directors in the executive branch, legislators, the constitutional officers.
So we'll talk about that. It's a $12,000 raise that legislators will give themselves. We'll get to that a little bit later as well. Also, some sex ed standards were advanced at the state capitol late last week, and we'll watch how those go. But really what it would do is it would make sex ed standards mandated across the public school spectrum from K to 12. So that's catching some fire as well. But also last night, the Senate was in session and they passed that bill to give themselves pay raises. But they also dealt with a bill that controls how counties can regulate wind farms. So just yet another thing that we will get to here with WMAY. So again, guns, no movement yet. No, the Senate amended a bill to change what the House did. So we'll hear, of course, some back and forth, especially with Governor J.B. Pritzker pushing back on the Senate version. But you also got a hearing that's going to be had today. Surely we'll hear a lot more about that. Pay raises for lawmakers, wind farms, sex ed, your calls. That's just some of what's coming up here, all right? So stay tuned. It is Springfield's Morning News. You can always chime in live and local at 217-629-7970. Coming back, though, we got to talk about not the Illinois government, but government over in Washington, D.C. with a late-night vote in D.C. to pick Kevin McCarthy to be the next speaker. What did the conservative Republicans get in Congress for that? We'll break that down a bit as well, so stay tuned. A lot more coming up here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk, and let's take a look at Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast, where today you've got a high of around 46 degrees. Look at that. It was amazing to wake up here in central Illinois to fluffy snow, and then by the end of the day yesterday, it was all melted. But today, the high of 46, the low down to 35, mostly sunny, and then sunny skies Tuesday, the high of 46. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 52 the high. For your Thursday, the high of 40 with a chance of rain or snow, and then Friday, partly sunny, with a high of 35. Right now, 23 degrees here on WMAY at 616 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Why waste another night on a mattress that's not comfortable or supportive? This is Caleb Kitzman with Verlo Mattress. Our mattresses aren't dropped off by the truckload like most mattress stores. At Verlo, we handcraft every mattress in our local factory. That means we custom fit a mattress for you, not the other way around. Stop in this month and pair any of our mattresses with an adjustable base and get up to $200 off. Verlo Mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
Save up to $600 during Verlo's clearance sale.
Right now, during the Verlo Mattress Clearance Sale, you can save even more with Verlo's already low consumer direct prices. Oh, you'll find phenomenal savings on floor models and discontinued mattresses. And all our mattresses are made locally, just for you, and are backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Oh, but you'd better hurry. The sale ends soon. Wake up, sleep better, and save at Verlo.
You create phenomenal value for your clients. You offer something extraordinary. Your work is your passion. At Ace Sign Company, we create visual communications that capture the professionalism, purpose, and the extraordinary values of your business. Discover how our team can work with yours to ignite your clients' confidence and strengthen your brand with true inspirational signage. Ace Sign Company, built to inspire. AceSignCo.com.
Hi, I'm Ed Lex, your Springfield Edward Jones financial advisor. There is nothing more important to me than understanding what's important to you. Only then can you and I work through our established process to build your personalized strategies and the specific actions needed to help you achieve your financial goals. I'll continue to partner with you and your family throughout your life, revisiting your goals and risk tolerance, as well as the strategies we develop to help keep you on track towards your goals. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
The Ramsey Show.
I found a job that's very rewarding, but they're going to work me like a dog. It's a 70-hour work week.
70 hours a week. Woman's not created to work like that. Indefinite?
Yeah, that's an indefinite situation.
You married?
I am not married.
You won't be.
Yeah, you could do it for a short term. Don't sell out for something that just looks good. It's got to be good in all aspects.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10. Sponsored by INB. Bank Easy. Bank INB.
Hello, Lauterbach Man here. People often come by and they say to me, Lauterbach Man, how do you manage to stay outside all winter? But because they're so short, it just sounds like... But I get the gist. It's cold out, and how can a fella like me endure the cold? Because at Lauterbach Tire, we understand staying outside in the cold. Your car does it every single winter. Oh yes, it challenges the batteries and belts and important fluids, but does it ever break down? No, because you brought your car to my top team of automotive technicians. Winter is tough on us all, but it doesn't have to be tough on your car. We'll make sure it's happy to start up in the morning. Oh, somebody else down there is asking me something. How zebras, tomato soup, hamper, shoelace? I can't understand you. No, it's because you're short. Sorry. Lauterbach man at Lauterbach Tire on Wabash. We fix cars so you can drive safely now.
Anxiety. There's plenty of it to go around for just about everyone these days, but the question is, how are you dealing with it? Anxiety can make things difficult. If you find yourself reaching for drugs or alcohol as the solution, chances are your anxiety has gotten out of control. It's time to pick up the phone and call Gateway Foundation. You'll talk with someone who holds the strictest confidentiality so that you can open up and learn about treatment options. Our team of professional counselors, therapists, psychiatrists, and physicians have a long history of helping people like you get back on track. During the healing process, you'll find that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Calling Gateway Foundation is that important first step towards getting away from the self-medication of alcohol and other substances and on the road towards safe, rewarding, and sustainable recovery. Call Gateway Foundation at 877-505-HOPE for a free, private, confidential screening. Gateway Foundation, addiction medicine saving lives.
3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
Where do you go when you want to get in shape?
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
High quality exercise equipment for your home.
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
The quest for the healthier you begins at
the Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
3120 Montvale Drive.
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
787-9930.
The Body Quest store, the Body Quest store.
The quest for the healthier you begins at
the Body Quest store.
3120 Montvale Drive, Springfield.
The WMAY Daily Poll is sponsored by Adams Pest Control for commercial, residential, real estate inspections, and termite control. Cast your vote with the WMAY mobile app or at WMAY.com/poll.
Will Kevin McCarthy serve the full 2-year term as U.S. House Speaker? Yes or no? 75% of you so far this morning say yes. Go vote at WMAY.com/poll or on the WMAY mobile app. It's brought to you by Adams Pest Control.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
So we've got a new U.S. House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, finally, after 14 rounds of voting, hasn't happened since pre-Civil War, which is pretty incredible to think about the history that was made. And while some say that it was a disaster, that it was extremely unfortunate, even some characterizing the dissenting votes, all those rounds, as, quote, terrorists within their own party, the Republican caucus, there seemed to be a push to have some changes on how things are run in the U.S. House. So welcome back, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. And it was interesting to hear over the past week the difference of, people saying that this was an unmitigated disaster, that there was actually deliberation on who should be the next House Speaker instead of it just being rubber stamped within the party, versus those that said this is a deliberative process and this shows that democracy works in the United States, that they're actually having these conversations. Now, the conversations that were had were about forming a more, in a way, house that would further look into actual oversight, to actually debate the bills that they're talking about, to actually go through and have discussions about how your tax dollars are being spent. So interesting, again, to see those two sides and those two perspectives. But I did see kind of a throwback to why some people on the side of saying this is a deliberative process, a throwback to the late U.S. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia making some comments about government and how exactly government it operates, and whether or not we should have a government that just literally rubber stamps things all over the place. Here is the late Justice Antonin Scalia.
And the Europeans look at this system and they say, well, it passes one house, it doesn't pass the other house. Sometimes the other house is in the control of a different party. It passes both, and then this president who has a veto power vetoes it. And they look at this and they say, it is gridlock. And I hear Americans saying this nowadays, and there's a lot of it going around. They talk about a dysfunctional government because there's disagreement, and the framers would have said, yes, that's exactly the way we set it up. We wanted this to be power, contradicting power, because the main ill that beset us, as Hamilton said in the Federalist, when he talked about a separate Senate. He said, yes, it seems inconvenient, but inasmuch as the main ill that besets us is an excess of legislation, it won't be so bad. This is 1787. He didn't know what an excess of legislation was. Unless Americans can appreciate that and learn to love the separation of powers, which means learning to love the gridlock, which the framers believed would be the main protection of minorities, the main protection. If a bill is about to pass that really comes down hard on some minority, they think it's terribly unfair. It doesn't take much to throw a monkey wrench into this complex system. So Americans should appreciate that, and they should learn to love the gridlock.
There's something about that. Learn to love the gridlock. Justice Antonin Scalia talking a bit about the way the government in the United States was set up, our constitutional republic. It's not supposed to be just rubber stamp stuff and then get on with your day and let these people make $150,000, $60,000 or whatever members of the U.S. House make. But a deliberative process took place, and that deliberative process ultimately did lead to the speakership going to Kevin McCarthy.
In their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 428, of which the Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 216.
So he gets it. McCarthy gets the votes necessary. And then it was time for the gavel to be passed. The Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, he got up and made a bit of a speech and did a little bit of what we know in the business as alliteration. Here is the I guess the handing over of the gavel speech that Hakeem Jeffries provided just as he handed the gavel to the new House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy.
House Democrats will always put American values over autocracy, benevolence over bigotry, the Constitution over the cult, democracy over demagogues, economic opportunity over extremism, freedom over fascism, governing over gaslighting, hopefulness over hatred, inclusion over isolation, justice over judicial overreach, knowledge over kangaroo courts, liberty over limitation, maturity over Mar-a-Lago, normalcy over negativity, opportunity over obstruction, people over politics, quality of life issues over QAnon, reason
I'm really
over
curious
racism,
what he's going to do with X and Z.
over
Let's see
slander,
here.
triumph over tyranny, understanding over ugliness, voting rights over voter suppression, working families over the well-connected, xenial over xenophobia, yes we can over you can't do it, and zealous representation over zero-sum confrontation.
So, Hakeem Jeffries there making a interesting alliteration of sorts going through the entire alphabet. So definitely wanted to share that. But you got the speakership now in the hands of Republicans. You've got Kevin McCarthy from California winning enough votes to get that speakership. And he laid out what he says are some of the main reasons why there was this ongoing feud within the Republican Party and how they exactly would go about governing now. So, he gets up and kind of jokes a bit about... Well,
that was easy, huh?
That was easy. But there was also chanting.
I never thought we'd get up here.
Yeah. So... some of the things that McCarthy laid out was, the first act going to be moving to suspend the spending on more IRS agents. That was part of the large spending package that the lawmakers passed last year. It included, 85,000 IRS agents. So that's going to be the first measure to peel that back. But you've got a whole bunch of other things that McCarthy laid out by controlling spending.
Let me be very clear. We will use the power of the purse and the power of the subpoena to get the job done.
We also talked about the border crisis.
No more ignoring a crisis of safety and sovereignty. We must secure our border.
But McCarthy also discussed being able to block large spending bills and also looking to create a church-style committee to investigate the weaponization of the federal government. And that includes the Department of Justice and the FBI, plus the end of COVID mandates. That was something else that got pretty large applause, especially with McCarthy talking about how the House is now going to be open to the public and no more COVID restrictions. It's the people's house. They should be able to go in. So interesting to hear the applause after that. But also some other things that the conservative Republicans, and again, the only reason we have this list of package proposals to control the House was because it was so narrow. If there were a glut of Republicans, the establishment would have just been able to rubber stamp McCarthy through and get him through. But since it was such a narrow, vote, it allowed for some holdouts within the Republican Party to force these issues to be addressed. The border, oversight of the Biden administration's Department of Justice, controlling spending, just some of those things. Plus the origin of COVID, he laid out that they're going to look into, and a whole host of things. So the next 2 years of the U.S. Congress are definitely going to be interesting, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But of course, a lot of what we talk about here is not necessarily what you're going to hear on the national news, because we're here in the capital city of Springfield, and a lot of action with lame duck session over the weekend. So keep it here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. It's 6:31. Let's take a break for news.
92.7 WMAY.
Here are the three big things you need to know.
I'm Don Howard. Our top story. With a Monday strike deadline looming, contract negotiations are continuing between two large New York City hospitals and more than 7,000 members of the nurses union. Two other hospitals in the city reached a tentative agreement with the union on Sunday. New York State Nurses Association President Nancy Hagans says staffing levels are the primary issue. The nurses say in the absence of an agreement, they are prepared to walk out at 6 o'clock this morning. The hospitals have taken steps to prepare for a strike through patient transfers and directing ambulances elsewhere. According to Mayor Jim Langfelder, the owner of the Wyndham City Center in downtown Springfield is still hoping to convert some of the hotel units to apartments and to attract a new major brand for the remaining hotel operation. Under the hotel's current zoning, the Wyndham's owner could convert half of its 400 units to apartments. Langfelder says the owner is hoping to sign with Marriott, which would alleviate the city's concerns about maintaining adequate hotel capacity downtown. The mayor says more details on the Wyndham's status could come out in a couple of weeks. In sports, even though the Chicago Bears lost again on Sunday, there's a silver lining in the clouds of a 3-14 season. The Bears will have the overall number one pick in the NFL draft for the first time since 1947. The Bears got some help from their former coach as Lovie Smith's Houston Texans got a win on Sunday, which dropped the Texans to number 2 in the draft and cleared the top spot for the Bears. It looks like free metered parking in downtown Springfield may continue for a while longer. The city is awaiting recommendations from a consultant who is looking at issues related to the medical district, including parking. That report, which will go to the city council this month, could recommend use of smart meters that would accept debit or credit card payments and can help people find available spaces through an app. Mayor Jim Langfelder says any move in that direction could be implemented as a pilot program on a limited basis at first. Congresswoman Mary Miller says the recent fight over Kevin McCarthy's election as House Speaker resulted in an historic victory for conservatives. Miller says she and 19 other holdouts engineered rules changes that will give conservatives the power to make direct budget cuts, cap spending, and end COVID mandates and funding for them. The deal will also lead to the creation of a committee to address the so-called weaponization of the federal government, which may involve looking into ongoing criminal investigations with the Department of Justice. Sangamon County and state officials are in a dispute over the transfer of mentally ill county jail inmates to state psychiatric facilities. Pending legislation would extend the time given to the state to identify placements for those inmates from 20 days to 60 days or longer. Sheriff Jack Campbell says that would create even more problems for jail inmates and staff. Governor Pritzker's office says the state has been working to add more psychiatric beds, but with mental health referrals at an all-time high, everyone has to work together to find solutions to the problem. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Well, Mickey and I are retiring and closing the store, and these are the final days. The remaining inventory is priced up to as low as 17 cents on the dollar. Everything's got to go. Many people have asked where they should go for their service needs. Well, most of the remaining jewelry stores in Springfield have goldsmith shops and are capable of cleaning and checking your fine jewelry. It's been a great run, and we thank you so much. We are locking the doors on Saturday the 14th at 3 o'clock.
Hey contractors, take your home improvement business to the next level with Menard's free design and buy software. Design your client's next post-frame building, kitchen, deck, fence, door, window. The list goes on. Show them what their finished project will look like and get your material costs at the same time. Save your work to your Menards.com account for easy reference. We even deliver materials right to your job site. Let Menards supply all of your building needs.
Save big money at Menards.
Less frustration, more vacation. Book a nonstop flight from Springfield's Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, SPI, to Fort Myers, Punta Gorda at Allegiant.com and experience the sun, fun, and relaxation of Southwest Florida. Find low fares and save big by bundling at Allegiant.com. Fly from SPI and spend more time enjoying vacation. Book your flight from SPI at Allegiant.com. Fly local. Fly SPI. Take the easy way out.
Take the easy way out.
Memorial Health would like to talk to you about a career in healthcare. Now through the end of January, Memorial is hosting a series of hiring events for multiple departments. Come learn about our available positions, as well as some of the biggest hiring incentives we've ever offered, like limited time hiring bonuses for RNs and PCTs. Virtual sessions are available, but hurry, space is limited. Register now at jobs.memorial.health/events. Memorial is an equal opportunity employer.
Springfield's dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 46. Cloudy tonight with a low of 35. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 46, low around 37. Wednesday, partly sunny with a high near 52. Rain arriving Wednesday night and a low of 34. Thursday, rain likely with a high near 40. Friday, mostly cloudy with a high near 35. And Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 38. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville. Online at blhcomputers.com.
How would you like to work for the area's premier multimedia marketing and advertising company right here in Springfield? Well, here's your opportunity. At Midwest Family, we're looking for talented and dynamic account executives who thrive in a fast-paced working environment. Those who are passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive. Are you a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have a grasp on today's digital media? And do you have the ability to cultivate lasting relationships and partnerships? If this sounds like this is for you, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on our careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, we offer unique sales career opportunities where you're given a challenging mission, world-class tools like HubSpot CRM, ongoing training, and the chance to realize your full potential as a marketing and advertising sales professional. This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager at Midwest Family Springfield. Are you my next candidate? If so, please apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
I do love music and dancing in particular. I have a very good friend, Beverly. She's my dance partner, even though she can only just kind of move back and forth. But she enjoys it quite a lot, and she looks forward to it.
Oh, Bill's my dancing buddy. We have a good time.
Springfield Supportive Living. Are you young enough?
Online means no lines. When you're ordering from Head West, go to headwestsubs.com and get fed without waiting in line.
I don't want the same old thing. I got a craving for a Head West brownie today. Yeah!
I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute. In-flight turbulence can often be scary, or worse, and can cause serious injuries. But improved weather forecasting has helped reduce those incidents, and scientists have now tracked areas of frequent turbulence by individual air routes, examining the unexpected bumps and drops in altitude. 8 of the 10 most turbulent routes are in Asia, and most of those over Japan. Another very bumpy ride between Almaty and Bishkek, that's between Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, and the most turbulent route between Santiago, Chile, and Santa Cruz in Bolivia. But don't underestimate the turbulence often experienced on transcon flights in America, especially over the Continental Divide above Colorado. For more information, visit petergreenberg.com. I'm Peter Greenberg, and this is today's Ion Travel Minute.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more. libertymutual.com.
92.7 WMAY.
Springfield's news and talk.
And it is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. Lawmakers approving a pay raise for themselves of $12,000 added to their base pay up to $85,000. Happened late Friday night in the House, and then late yesterday in the Senate, they passed it. I got the debate for you. And also, you can call in live and local and sound off at 217-629-7970. Do state lawmakers deserve a pay raise? And do you agree with some of the sentiments that were shared as to why lawmakers need a pay raise, why constitutional officers like the governor and the lieutenant governor and the attorney general need a pay raise, as well as executive directors for agencies under control of the governor, why they need extra pay? Your thoughts. So you can sound off at 217-629-7970 anytime throughout the program. And don't forget, we do broadcast live and local on WMAY 92.7 FM. And also on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe. Just find me, Bishop on Air, and you can subscribe that way as we are live and local each and every weekday morning from 6 to 9. So what I do is, of course, I do the radio show in the morning, and a lot of what I do outside of the radio show, I bring in and offer it up because my full-time gigs with the Center Square and also Illinois Radio Network, and we provide reports for statewide affiliates about what's going on at the Illinois State House and other statewide issues. My main beat is the Illinois State House, and I think it's important that we continue reporting on that, because where else are you going to find more comprehensive unpacking of what's happened at the Illinois State House? So that's what I do outside of this, and sometimes it can get pretty grueling, especially whenever you've got the end of certain sessions, right? So always, heading to the end of spring session can be kind of hectic, and it's long hours there at the final few days. Same thing with veto session. Long hours in the final few days of veto session that happened. The last day was December 1st, if you remember, when they passed the changes to the Safety Act. But then you got lame duck session, which we're currently in, just at the tail end of this 2-year term of the state legislature, and it has been far from lame. One of the things that they've been looking at is the possibility of banning certain types of semi-automatic guns and magazines. That did not advance. Now, you've got the House that passed their version on early Friday morning. If you remember, we talked about that because it was after midnight, I think, when they passed it in the Illinois House. But you then have the Senate yesterday coming in on a Sunday afternoon filing their own version of a gun ban. And it differs from the House version in substantial ways, including allowing for 10 or fewer rounds for rifle magazines and 15 or fewer rounds for handgun magazines. Plus, it pretty much grandfathers in handgun magazines and 30-round mags for AR-15s, for instance, and a whole host of other things. There's pushback on that from the governor, saying that it's too watered down. So we'll see what happens with that. It did not advance over the weekend. They're expected to take that up this morning in a Senate Executive Committee right after we get off air, so I'll be monitoring that. We'll definitely be covering all of this. So follow me, Bishop on Air, on Twitter, where you'll see some of the updated coverage there. But Friday night, the House, they took up a bill to spend $1.7 billion of your tax resources, and it does a variety of things. It gives $850 million for the state's budget stabilization fund. It also gives $460 million for hospitals to help with increased nursing costs. It puts $400 million into a large business attraction fund and puts $72 million into the disaster recovery fund, among other spending. But it also gives lawmakers raises. Here is the debate between the House Majority Leader, Greg Harris, and State Representative Mark Batnick about the spending here and just how much spending there's been. And it's pretty incredible to see really just how much they're wanting to spend. And the numbers broken down again, you've got the pay raises that lawmakers could get, and it would be a pay raise from $73,000 to around $85,000. So that would be the extent of how much they would get. But it's not just that. You've also got leaders in various capacities getting extra money, a stipend of sorts, with the Speaker getting extra money, the Senate President getting extra money. You've also got members of various committees being able to get more money. So here's the debate back and forth between Greg Harris and Mark Batnick on the House floor late Friday. Again, this is just before 9 o'clock Friday night whenever they brought this bill up.
A transfer of $850 million from GRF to the Budget Stabilization Fund, which is also referred to by some as the Rainy Day Fund. This bill would transfer $400 million from the General Revenue Fund to the Large Business Attraction Fund. It replenishes $72 million from GRF into the Disaster Recovery Fund. It also creates a hospital stability program to transfer on a one-time basis $460 million to all the hospitals of Illinois to help to account for the rising cost of nursing and the shortfalls that many hospitals are experiencing right now. And it changes our child support laws so that the state will no longer be taking a portion out of the child support it collects, but the entire child support it collects will go to the child and not to the state. There are salary increases for agency directors in the executive branch, legislators, the constitutional officers.
174 pages on a Friday night. The audacity of what we're doing. Pay increase, Christmas in January for legislators. 174 pages for a bill that just got dropped an hour ago that literally has not seen the light of day. What's in this bill has not seen the light of day. This is a Springfield setup. There's not going to be any pictures with the governor here afterwards cheering and celebrating. He's not in the front row today. You may think that the public isn't going to notice. It seems like we're doing our best to make it happen that way, but they will notice.
In this bill alone that we have in front of us tonight, we are putting aside $400 million to be competitive with other states in attracting high-tech jobs and employers to our state. We are paying $460 million to keep our hospital systems afloat, and we're putting $850 million into a rainy day fund. At this point in time, Illinois has more in its rainy day fund than we have had in the last quarter century.
So again, some of the rationale being provided by House Majority Leader Greg Harris. I want to get your thoughts before we hear some of the Senate debate last night about this $1.7 billion spending bill that gives a whole bunch of money to the rainy day fund, gives some money to a fund that the governor can use to attract business, and also gives the governor and all statewide constitutional officers a pay raise, as well as a $12,000 pay raise for state lawmakers. Your thoughts. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Bishop. Hey. So the average lawmaker in surrounding states, $38,000. So I just looked this up. So we're going up to $69,000. How do we get these $12,000 pay raises? Because I want one too.
Well, it goes up to $85,000. What I've got in front of me is it's from Illinois, $72,900. That's where it's at right now for base pay. $11,000 plus for the Senate President and House Speaker. They get $29,000 plus, and then some more for committee members and whatnot. But yeah, it's far exceeds what neighboring legislators get. And here's the thing too that I think really gets to people is being a state legislator is considered a part-time job because they're only in session for like 90 days. I think this 2-year term, they're on like their 110th day or something for the year of the 2-year term. But still, that's not a lot of days in the year that they get paid for that much of a salary that's funded by you, the taxpayer.
Yeah, I just feel like I do more than they do. I want one of their raises, too.
All right, I appreciate the call. We'll get to more of them. 217-629-7970 real quick. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Good morning, Greg.
Hey.
So, in my rainy day fund, unless I absolutely have to use it, I keep adding to it. these hospitals rake in so much money. They can afford to pay their own employees what they need to pay them at a more fair rate. And also, just like a shareholder of a certain company, the shareholders take votes for the CEOs and the executive teams to get those that money compensation, the bonuses and what have you. And I really feel like the citizens of Illinois should take votes on their pay raises.
And that's a proposal I've seen offered up elsewhere. I don't know if that's going to happen because it is set up that they can give themselves pay raises, which they did. And it's up to the governor now, especially after late yesterday, the Illinois Senate. They approved a measure that the House approved to give themselves pay raises. Here's the back and forth between State Senator L.G. Sims and State Senator Darren Bailey. Sims was defending the pay raises for lawmakers.
This came about as the governor wanted to attract the best and the brightest to the state of Illinois to be agency directors. So the same is true for the legislature. We have a citizen legislature, and what we are trying to make sure we accomplish is we have individuals who are the best and the brightest who are serving here in the People's Senate. And that's what this bill does. It makes sure that we invest in making sure that not everyone who is a millionaire or a billionaire or wealthy can afford to serve, but individuals who want to give back to their communities are able to do that.
Senator Bailey.
So are you suggesting that the best and the brightest currently are not serving here in Springfield on your side of the aisle?
Senator Sims.
Quite the opposite, Senator. As I look across, and I'm not going to just limit it to my side of the aisle. As I look across the Illinois Senate, I see an immensely talented group of individuals who care deeply about their communities, and I won't engage in going down and trying to denigrate your side of the aisle.
This has got to be the epitome of disgrace right here. I mean, I've witnessed everything these last 4 years, but to sit here in these final days and suggest these types of dollars for these positions is absolutely wrong. Teachers, truck drivers, waitresses, think about you. Go back to the people sitting at the desk, setting these long hours at home right now. Go out to the security guards right now who are protecting us and tell them that you're worth $85,000 and ask them what way they think. Please do that.
So, again, the debate on the Senate floor, that was late yesterday, all right, Sunday evening. So my weekend was pretty much focused on lame duck, watching these bills pass. So it's on to the governor's desk with the measure to spend $1.7 billion, but also to give lawmakers a $12,000 pay raise, and it increases the governor's salary to $205,000, the lieutenant governor's salary to $160,000, $180,000 for the attorney general. Also, the comptroller and treasurer getting salary increases to $160,000. Fun times at the Illinois State House. It's not the only thing they did. They got tons more, and we'll get to it, I promise, including counties and how they're going to be able to regulate wind farms. But right now, it's 6:53 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Hi, my name is Rob Leach, and I own Cadenza Precious Metals. I buy gold, silver, sterling, diamonds, and select collectibles. I have 15 years experience in the precious metal and numismatic industry. I can offer you knowledge and integrity if you have coins or metals you want to liquidate. I also have a very low overhead, which means I can usually offer you a more competitive price for your valuables. We can meet at my private office, or in some cases I will come to you. I also buy precious metals and coin collections from estates. Give me a call at 217-415-5581. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Since 1958, Springfield Overhead Doors by Heart has been serving Central Illinois with the highest quality, most dependable garage doors and service. It's because of your loyalty that we continue to grow year after year. Right now, we're looking for experienced technicians, and we offer industry-leading pay and benefits. If you've got the experience and are interested in joining our local, trusted, and family-owned business, get in touch with us. Springfield Overhead Doors by Heart, an equal opportunity employer.
Why waste another night on a mattress that's not comfortable or supportive? This is Caleb Kitzman with Verlo Mattress. Our mattresses aren't dropped off by the truckload like most mattress stores. At Verlo, we handcraft every mattress in our local factory. That means we custom fit a mattress for you, not the other way around. Stop in this month and pair any of our mattresses with an adjustable base and get up to $200 off. Verlo Mattress. We're not just building a better mattress, we're building a better night's sleep for less.
Save up to $600 during Verlo's clearance sale.
Right now, during the Verlo mattress clearance sale, you can save even more with Verlo's already low consumer direct prices. Oh, you'll find phenomenal savings on floor models and discontinued mattresses. And all our mattresses are made locally, just for you, and are backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Oh, but you'd better hurry. The sale ends soon. Wake up, sleep better, and save at Verlo.
What's the best thing to do with your money during uncertain times? Financial experts agree products like certificates of deposit and money market accounts can be a safe haven from a bumpy economy. At Warren Boynton State Bank, we've been helping people find ways for their money to make money for 145 years. Certificates of deposit, or CDs, give you a guaranteed return on your money. Money market accounts are a way to let your money earn higher interest with the flexibility of a checking account. These are just two options we have at Warren Boynton, each designed to give your money security, and they just might help you sleep better at night. At Warren Boynton, you can say we've seen a few things over the years. A lot has happened since we opened our doors in 1877, but no matter what was going on in the rest of the world, we've stood by folks in Central Illinois. A little extra confidence during challenging economic times. Warren Boynton State Bank, WBSB.net, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Warren Boynton, your bank.
Hey, John, when you think of the word supply chain, what's your next impulse?
No, turn off the news, run for cover, start whimpering.
Yeah, well, a customer of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World wrote in that they visited the store wanting to buy a microwave.
Something that used to be so simple.
Oh, right. You know what they walked out with?
Let me guess. A microwave.
Exactly. Dick Van Dyke had what they needed in stock, and the customer also remarked as to how helpful the salespeople were, too. Supply chain problems are still a thing, but this customer got the help they needed, and they wrote in to thank us.
You know, a little less whimpering in today's world can't be a bad thing.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Supply chain issues are minimized when you have multiple locations and people who know how to help you with your next purchase. All we do is appliances, and we do them better than anyone else. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Those computer replacements and upgrades you got for the holidays really came in handy. However, recycling doesn't mean putting the old stuff in the closet. Take it to BLH Computers. Computers, hard drives, televisions, printers, and accessories, all of it can be safely recycled by the E. Stewart Certified Recycler of Central Illinois. That's also why they're the largest recycler in our region. So skip the closet and recycle it at BLH Computers in Springfield, Jacksonville, and Taylorville, and online at blhcomputers.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Springfield's Morning News with Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY.
All right, coming up, we got a lot more to get to from legislative action during the lame duck session over the weekend. I'm Greg Bishop. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. It's going to be a busy day today. You've got no action on the gun bill. All right, we've been watching that closely. One iteration has been changed, passed in the House, but then the Senate came in late yesterday. They amended a different bill with different language that does different things, and there's pushback from Democrats in the House, and even Governor J.B. Pritzker saying that the Senate version's too watered down. What's in the Senate version, plus other legislative action, including prohibiting certain ordinances at county-level governments to curb wind farms. sex education standards. They're looking to make that mandatory across the state. Also, mail-in voting. An interesting story there with the lawmakers looking to advance the ability for county clerks to verify different signatures as opposed to verifying just the signature that's on the voter roll. So those are just some of the things coming up next hour with your phone calls and more. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY. Bishop on Air on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe, like, click that notification to stay updated because we will be updating you all throughout. It is Springfield's Morning News on WMAY at 7 o'clock.
From the Fly SPI Studios.